Dear viewer, you might not know, but some years ago, the police made an astonishing statement about me. Funny, but astonishing and deliberate. Prior to reading this statement, I'd always believed the police were fair and honest in their work and didn't bring their personal baggage and prejudices to the job. Anyone watching some real-life police programs where they apprehend and interview people with crimes which include murder, one can understand how this commitment to be fair and just, regardless of the perpetrator's crimes, was both admirable and stayed true to their oath of allegiance. Reading the few lines which the police boldly stated in a Merlin report I asked for over 5 years ago, I know those standards of fairness, integrity and honesty didn't apply to me. Infuriated but saddened too with the police's drop in standards, I decided the least I could do is have a little bit of fun with the smearing of my mental health. So some of my videos included images of pigeons and cars speaking to me, and I even mocked up a civil partnership document which had my name and that of a friendly pigeon I used to see and feed most days on a path I rarely use nowadays. I believe the police's use of mental health smearing and psychiatric reprisals was because they had a hand in bringing about the pariah part of my targeting. Privacy invasions and secret surveillance would have been used, though I can't rule out my contribution to this horrific state of affairs. Our housing officer visited on the 15th of October this year with another guy who I presume also works for Notting Hill Genesis. The main reason for the visit was about my trying to get some respite from the nightly burning and invisible pummeling of my body by climbing through the skylight a few times and sleeping on the roof instead of on the balcony. Someone had seen me and perhaps anonymously called the cops, who then called mental health, and someone contacted Notting Hill Genesis, our housing association. I explained to Isaiah why I used the roof a few times and promised I would not do so again, and I've stuck to that promise, and so continue to get burning sensations and aches every night as I sleep here in the flat. I showed Isaiah and Martin a segment from the video of the family next door. They both heard the abuse and threats. Isaiah knew I had a YouTube channel, but didn't say how he knew. I believe any link to a video I may have given in emails would have directed him to my OneDrive account and not YouTube.
don't you? Yeah. Alright.
He said he would investigate. Having not heard from him since his visit, I sent him an email asking for any updates. I suggested a visit to the tenant in flat 10 would be the perfect place to start. Here is his reply. "5 weeks later and still no reply, so I emailed him a few more times. I then used the Notting Hill Genesis website to contact him, and this normally does garner a response, but 3 days later, nothing. Notting Hill might not care about death and rape threats and verbal abuse from some of the tenants of Dayak Court, but would probably act very swiftly if the dreaded N-word was being used. I did record a few incidents of a few of the workers refurbishing Dayak Court using the N-word and potentially within earshot of the tenants, the majority being black.
Yeah.